Just wanted to make a quick video today about collar conditioning a dog. I've seen a lot of information on the forums. People have questions about it, whether it works with a bulldog or not. Basically, doing it with a bulldog is no different than doing it with any other hunting dog or working class dog. I guess one of the small variations is some of these dogs have a pretty high pain threshold. Doesn't often require more stimulus. It's just you have to be a little more consistent at first. The other thing is bulldogs in general are pretty quick learners. They want to please. So I haven't ever had a problem with training a bulldog. So anyway, just to start out, this is a Tritronic shock collar here. It's got multiple settings. I'm going to flip it on real quick. Just turn the collar on. Here's the controller. Here's the shock collar. As you can see, there's lots of settings. The most most I'll ever stimulate a dog with is with a 3. Here it's on the 3 right now, and I'm going to stim myself. You can see my thumb kind of twitching there. I could do it indefinitely. It's not that painful. Just enough of the dog knows what's going on. Charlie, here. When you put the receiver around the dog's neck, you want to put it high up on the dog, like this, just below the jaw. I always run another collar on the dog too. I like the loop collars. You can use any other kind, and that's what you hook your lead to. Lead should be about 20 feet long. I like a static lead, so if I have to make a correction, there's no bounce in it. Okay, now we'll go over to the kennel and we'll start the training. So, as with any type of training, there's multiple phases. First phase is the learning phase. I usually do that with some sort of treat. In particular, this dog is a blue, so she really goes for the food. So I use a food treat. So I train the dog. She knows the command. She goes to the kennel. I give her a treat. This is without stimulating her with the shock collar. Once she does that and knows the command, and I'm confident that she knows the command, then I transition her over to the collar, and that's the next phase of the training, the conditioning step. And that's the phase that Charlie's in. She already knows the command. She knows what's expected of her. So I go to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run her to the kennel. Every time I say kennel, as soon as I say it, start moving with her, I'm going to apply stimulus. I don't release the stimulus until she actually gets to the kennel. As soon as she walks inside the kennel, I release the stimulus. Try it. Kennel. I let off as soon as she's in. Now, if she were to resist me or not go to the kennel, I would keep the stimulus on, same level. The only difference is I'd grab her, hold by the lead and actually force her in the kennel. Charlie, kennel. Here. Do this multiple times until the dog understands why it's getting stimulated. Eventually you'll pull the dog out of the kennel and it'll just want to run back into the kennel because it knows that the kennel is its safe spot. Go ahead, kennel. This is a prime example of negative reinforcement. I put a negative stimulus on her, tell her a command. That negative stimulus continues until she goes into the kennel, and then the negative stimulus is taken off. That's different from a punishment. A punishment would be if I told her kennel, she didn't go, so I stimmed her. Very different method of training. If you base your training off of punishments, then you're always a step behind. If you base your training on negative reinforcement, the dog is actively looking for ways to please you, so it takes the negative stimulus off. Very effective method of training. You can also use it for here, when the dog
is, you still do it on a lead, but when the dog is out, you say here, and the dog should come to you. You apply that pressure until the dog gets to you, and you are the safe zone. As soon as it gets to you, take the pressure off. Same thing with sit. You say sit, if the dog, as soon as you say it, you apply the stimulus, you release the stimulus when the dog sits. Now, I recommend starting with a kennel, or you could start with the here command, because anything that takes a longer period of time, so you have a negative stimulus for longer,